Hello, my dear friends, brothers and sisters. What a beautiful morning, a beautiful day that we have here. And we're happy and excited to come your way with another edition of Marriage Melodies. And so, what are we going to be talking about today? How poor personal hygiene affects our relationship and marriage. That's what we are talking about today. And I hope that this time we're going to spend together will be worthwhile, because this topic has become very necessary. Because the kind of feedback we get, we were doing a topic on why is it that after childbirth, women have begin to lose their libido, their interest in sexual relationship. Some other women called and said their own case, the reverse is the case for them, that their husbands have completely abandoned their bedroom responsibilities and that they don't even want to come near them at all. The other ones say that their wife feels so irritated and far away from them. And so this was cause for concern. I'm going to be doing that topic next week. But today, there is a fallout from some of the investigations that we did. We did some investigation and I began to feel that there is a connection, there is some connection with poor personal hygiene. A lot of people, they've taken for granted their personal hygiene and have assumed that their partner or whoever they are in a relationship with do not take notice of it. And so I decided to look at how poor personal hygiene affects our relationship. Once again, I want to welcome you to Marriage Melodies and welcome you to and tell you that it's a beautiful Saturday morning and it's a cold one here in Lagos, and wherever you are going to be seeing this video from, I want you to join and share the video so that a lot more people will join us this morning as we take a look at how does personal hygiene in marriage affect your relationship, shattering negative impact. Are you wondering why personal hygiene in marriage should have a negative impact on your relationship? I want to tell you that it's a mountain. Poor personal hygiene is a mountain that needs to be climbed and overcome. You know, it is very difficult to feel comfortable around somebody who is not clean. Yes, Fred Oruba Akatuba is watching this video from Germany. Marriage is a very complex relationship. Marriage. It's a very complex relationship. I want everyone to understand that. And so that when you are facing challenges, you don't get surprised. Once you get involved in a complex enterprise, you should have the courage to manage what will come at you. And in many cases, you don't even have a pre-knowledge of what is going to come at you. All you have is faith, hope for the better. There are many intricate threads woven around it. Many of you ignore certain aspects as not that important to your relationship. That's what you do. You say, oh, this one's not important. This one's not important. You forget that nothing is unimportant in marriage. And so when you are confronted with this thing, Adeni Bello Dami, that's my great friend from immigration, a wonderful guy. Thank you, Bello, for joining this morning. But when it shows its negative impact, you feel your married life is not satisfying and fulfilling. What am I saying? We take for granted little things. And when those things come around to begin to affect the marriage, we get surprised. And we begin to wonder, is it this little thing that is affecting my marriage? So a lot of women don't know why their husbands. There was a time that a young lady walked into my office and told me that her husband hardly go beyond the first round. He said beyond the first round, the man will not be able to perform. And so she felt worried, and that I asked her if they had children already. And she said she had 3 children. 3 children? I said yes. Yes, we have Eugene Ado. Yes, Eugene Ado Abroso is joining me this morning. That's a great web designer. Eugene, welcome on the show this morning. And you know, I found occasion to ask, why does your husband not go beyond the first round? And he said she doesn't know. So I got in touch with the husband. The husband told me that that he married her when they were, they were in church, and he felt he could keep himself till the day of marriage. And he waited for this woman that was given to him, only for him to go into her and found that there was too much smell, too much negative odor around coming from her. And he suffered that. So after the first round, with all the energy, he's unable to sustain himself beyond into a second round. And that it was because of her poor personal hygiene. Can you imagine that? This is very... So when I called the lady, she broke down in tears. I asked the husband, why didn't you talk to your wife? He said he could not bring himself to discussing it with the wife, that he was too embarrassed on her behalf. A lot of couples are facing challenges, and some of them do not have the courage to discuss them. Some of them know that these problems are there. Sometimes the wife is not even aware that she oozes a negative odor, a bad smell. Sometimes the man is not aware that his armpit, his body odor is affecting the wife, or his mouth odor. A lot of people have bad mouth odor. Some are due to poor hygiene, others are due to medical condition. But if it is not discussed, it wrecks relationship. And so do you think love, care, and financial security is enough? Some even believe once they give the woman money, that's enough. If I smell of cigarette, if I smell of onion from eating suya or kebab or any other meat, people don't understand. So they say that. And so do you think it's enough to make your marriage life happy? My brothers, my sisters, no amount of money that you put in your relationship, no amount of fun can defeat poor personal hygiene. If you are suffering from poor personal hygiene, it is time to take a break and correct it, because you are torturing your partner or someone you are with in a relationship. The answer to this is obviously that money is good. If you bring in money, the woman will enjoy it, the man will enjoy it. If you bring in care, everybody loves care. Everybody loves to be loved. But you love the person, but the person finds it inconveniencing to share intimate moments with you. And you will be wondering, we love ourselves, but we fear, or sometimes we try to avoid intimate moments. Why is this so? Because of poor personal hygiene. Without love, indeed, your relationship is nothing. Don't get me wrong. Without love, your relationship is nothing. Without money, your relationship will totter towards instability. If you don't have money, your relationship will bounce towards instability. We know that. Money is good. Yes, we have Christian. Yeah, Christian joining us to watch. Christian, welcome. Nice guys joining me this morning. These are great friends of mine. These are the very foundation of your marriage. Money, love are good. But what is the use of all this when the person, woman and man, they avoid each other? They won't kiss each other. If they bring their mouth near one another, it becomes like dustbin approaching you. Some people, very bad. I wanted to employ a young man about some 10 years ago. When he came into my office, he was the most brilliant of the lot that came. But he walked past a general office into my office. The atmospheric condition, the odor was was bastardized when he walked past them. And when he came into my office, the entire smell and scent of the office changed. But he performed best. I was going to recommend him for the employment when the remaining people in the office said for his personal hygiene level, he must not be employed because they will not stand him in the office. I felt so bad, and a lot of young men are taking for granted their personal hygiene. Some have boxers they've worn for so long that if you put that boxer in a little pond, all the fishes in there will die. It's as bad as that. There was a woman who came into a public bus someday, and you can't believe this was something outside. She entered the bus. Even the conductor, the mate, frowned his face because the kind of odor that accompanied her into the bus was unbelievable. I'm telling you the truth. This is a very personal experience. And so, we should be very, very attentive to personal hygiene. You know? But you must have construction over your foundation. Listen to this. Love, money, and care are foundation of your marriage. But around your foundation, you should have some construction to safeguard it. And what are those construction? Mustn't you do that? If you have affection, if you have money, is it nice that the person you are involved with should be in a way, not be hygienic, not be clean? Because if the person is not clean, it's difficult. So I want to, okay, Fred Uruba is still there, thank you all. And Christian Tinje Biodun, yes, Adeni Christian Tinje Biodun is watching. Thank you for joining me. One such major part of your building block is your personal hygiene in your marriage. One of it. There are many building blocks, but one is your personal hygiene. Yes, your personal hygiene and cleanliness has a telling role in your relationship. It has a telling role. Because you see, how do you feel if kissing you is a difficult job? If kissing you is a nightmare, a woman, a man, if kissing you is difficult, if coming to hug you or be on bed with you is difficult, how do you think your wife, your husband will feel? Your husband will feel very bad. So it is the reason why I'm calling on you. Yes, this is Sister Dukwe is watching. She is a pastor of the KICC in thank you for joining me this morning, Sister Dukwe. Yes, your personal hygiene and cleanliness has a telling role. Certain aspects of your marriage life has more of an aesthetic angle. Certain aspects of your marriage, the way you dress, have more of an aesthetic angle to it. And so it is very visual and very appealing. Some women dress very well. They make up very well and they look really beautiful. But when a man gets close, become sexually involved with them, what you see, what you smell is so I don't know what word to describe this. And they soon find that the person feathers away. They soon find that the man stays away and they don't know why. Women lament and I investigate, and men say they cannot stand what the odor around the time they're having intimacy. And I decided to break the ice and let's resolve the matter so that you can share this video and let everybody begin to work on personal hygiene. Now, what are these things? Let me give you an example. A clean house. A clean house. Do you know if your house is not clean, how do you expect your husband to feel, wife? If you live in foreign land where men are the one doing some of these chores, you man who do the chores, which is an abomination. I'm saying, if your house is not clean, Do you think visitors will feel comfortable coming to your house? I visited someone in the UK during my visit to the UK. A friend of mine took me to a house, and in that home, somewhere in Pittsburgh in UK, this is not Africa, it's United Kingdom, in London, and I was asked, I entered their apartment through the kitchen. In fact, what I saw in the kitchen, plates that have been used for upward of 5 days, muckle in that house, unwashed plate, everywhere unkept. I couldn't believe, is this a kitchen of someone who lives in the UK? I thought it was something that is common in our clime. I was disturbed. The man welcomed us into the house, and we sat down. When we sat down, and then all of a sudden I heard the baby's cry. So I looked, I just peeped, and I saw him changing baby nappy. His wife was not around, so he was responsible, changing baby nappies because the baby had poo-pooed. So I was making a jest. I said, hey, you guys in the UK, you are wonderful. These are things that are far from us in Africa. In fact, I don't do these things, I told him, and we're joking. He said, this is UK for you. I said, well, we started laughing. The next thing, he finished that show. Vanessa Scott is watching. He went and brought me ice cream, and I saw him bringing ice cream from the kitchen. The first instinct I have was to reject it completely, because ice cream from that kitchen that I saw, it was difficult. I couldn't accept it. I immediately stayed away from it. My friend took 2 scoops and left it. I told him thereafter that I could not take ice cream from that kitchen. The kitchen was an eyesore, very difficult to. So a clean house, you have to take care of your house. Because if your house is not clean, visitors will feel uncomfortable. They will stay at the door to give you a message. Good morning, Vanessa Scott, my dear in-law. Neat and tidy children is also a delight of a family. Neat. Some women don't have time to tidy up and clean their children. And so when visitors even visit the house, and a child want to make an attempt to play with a visitor, you hear the mother say, you will stain his dress. How will your children, if they were well tidied and kept well, how will they therefore stain the dress or the clothing of a visitor? So let us be mindful. You know, at other times, the children are so unkept that the father is not proud, and there is a lot of anger in the house. So clean and tidy children. Well-groomed look, you know, well-groomed look is very good. Some men, I used to have a friend, he hardly brush his mouth. And in fact, his hair will go weeks uncut. And I tell him, you are a pastor of a church, why torture your wife? Your wife will not feel good that her husband is like this. Your hair is bushy, your mouth is not clean. And this went on until such a couple that runs a church, they went their separate ways because their sexual life was a mess. A mess because of poor personal hygiene. There are a lot of men who will not repeat an activity with a woman because of poor personal hygiene. And the woman will wonder. We know that some of these things have medical conditions. That's why you need to talk about them early enough so that they can nip it in the bud. You know, so a lot of women don't understand. And because sometimes if it's affecting you, you will not know. That's why you need to always inquire. Be close, relational. Some women, only a little hug. The armpit, the same thing with men. The odor from the armpit puts you off. And you find that this body odor, sometimes a little sweating brings out a lot of foul smell. And so we must be mindful of our personal hygiene. You know? So look a smile at the least, don't you? You never feel this aspect in any way, you know, you don't feel that these things are in any way contribute to the well-being of your married life. The question is, a lot of people think it doesn't. They hear the word. He loves me, I love him, and that is all. We agree. Love is good, money is good, care is good. They are the foundation. But we need things to edge the foundation so that the marriage does not totter. You know, let me tell you, you will be very wrong if you think that you can take for granted personal hygiene. Now, let me prove my point now. Let me go deep into the matter. Let us suppose your home is clustered with things and everything is in disarray. There is also a grim and filth all around you. Some women will not sweep their homes. Some women will not have their bath early in the morning or 2 times or 3 times. The woman's body needs a lot more cleaning, a lot more maintenance than that of a man. It does not exonerate the man who wears one boxer for a long time, who feel that his armpits hair should not be maintained. If you don't want to cut them off, maintain them. Some have beards that are not properly, kept and maintained, that sometimes lies. They have lies here. Let's watch it. Let's do something about it, because marriages, husbands and wives, recently, just a few days ago, a young woman called into my show and she was so emotional. She said since she had 2 children, her husband has stayed away from her. That even when he even make an attempt close to him, his response breaks her heart. I do not know the cause of this, but this is happening in many relationships. So, how will you feel, my brothers, my sisters, my friends that are with me this morning on Marriage Melodies? How will you feel? Your nerves creak in tension and confused frustration, doesn't it, when someone you are dealing with is dirty, is not hygienic? Here is another example. Do you like watching a movie in a seedy theater, a dirty theater? Or do you like to watch in a theater with clean ambience? Sorry, a seedy theater is a clean theater, I want to say. Do you want to watch your movie in a nice environment, or you want to watch it in a theater that is dirty? That's what I want to say. Compare the two. You invariably will choose to watch in a clean, fragrant, nice theater. So when you enter the theater, it's clean. But when the theater is not clean, would you like to watch a movie there? So the story of a movie might be the same whether you watch it in a low-class theater or in a quality theater. Then why do you seek the classy theater? It's because the good element in the movie catches your attention only when the ambience is clean. Otherwise, your mind registers only the filth around you. You do not enjoy movie, however well taken it might be. Now, if the movie is the same anyway, if you put it in the dirty theater, in a nice theater, it's the same movie. So the word is this: if the environment is dirty, what you will remember is not the movie, but the dirty environment. The dirty environment will distract you. So if the environment is clean, you will concentrate on the movie. I'm speaking in parables. So the same theater, the same movie in different theater causes discomfort in a dirty theater. And the same movie, but in a nicer, clean environment, you watch the movie. So let's take lessons from that. When you seek cleanliness and good hygiene for watching a 2-hour movie, it is needless to say how much personal hygiene in marriage contributes to your lifelong relationship. 2 hours in a movie, you want it clean. Then what about the relationship that is forever? You don't want to be clean for one another? Let us learn. Let us not take for granted. The truth is, your personal cleanliness plays a subtle but definite role in your married life. A lot of couples have a very poor sexual relationship, and they do not know that the cause of it could be poor personal hygiene. So I'm bringing your mind to it because I have seen that a lot of people are complaining. I know that it's very easy in very cold climate like the UK, London, and all those places that you can actually mask poor hygiene, because the weather is good. But in very temperate regions like ours, you find out that it's very difficult to hide it because you sweat it out. You will show it. So, yeah, Idowu is joining me. Oh, Idowu Bamidele Raphael. Poor hygiene wrecks marriages. So, what does personal cleanliness really mean? What does it mean? Yes, I have something from Vanessa. Poor hygiene is extremely important. We cannot underestimate the impact it has on relationship. Thank you, Vanessa. That's very true. Your personal hygiene, your personal hygiene is very important. Your habits and behavior are also important. The way you dress, you see the three things I put up this morning. Your personal hygiene, your habits and behavior is also part of your hygiene. You've got to clean yourself. Stop talking to your spouse in a manner that is not acceptable. Stop being derogatory, being harsh, brash. Talk with love, care, and affection. Let your words be seasoned with salt. Talk nicely. Then, finally, the way you dress. Some people don't take care of the way they dress. They take for granted that they have a loving husband or a loving wife. They take for granted that they have a wife who's caring. They forget that the way they dress is an icing, on the cake. Dress well. Everything of the above mentioned qualities combined together form the crux of personal cleanliness. Many psychologists say that lack of personal hygiene in marriage sometimes wrecks your relationship. A lot of people that I met in Ghana, come out with, they call it you blow fuse, meaning that your mouth oozes. So let us be very careful. People take it for granted. I met a young lady who was a student who complained to be a student of my school. She complained that she hardly sustained relationships. So to that extent, she's really disturbed. Yes, Ola Ogunkoya Majemu from America is watching. Thank you very much. Is okay. Yeah. That's Majemu. Thank you for watching us this morning. I appreciate you. And you know what? The young woman had such a nasty body odor. When she left my office, I asked my secretary to refresh the air with an air freshener. I called the lady thereafter and said, there is a major problem I've noticed. You left my office with such bad body odor, and I thought that I should share with you, and it could be the foundation of the reason why people don't stay with you or don't feel comfortable, sharing a closeness with you. And I thought that after that time, she had to do something about it. And I hope that indeed she did something about it. Yeah, good morning, my friend. Good morning, Majemu. In fact, you are in for a shock after marriage. Before marriage, your spouse, you are enamored by the outer appearance of him or her. You love the outer appearance. But after marriage, you find your spouse not so appealing. Why do you find him not so appealing? It's because you suddenly took for granted something. We become too busy that our fingernails are dirty, too busy that we can't brush our mouth properly, too busy that our ears are stuffed with dirt, too busy that our boxers have been worn for up to 3-4 weeks, too busy, and you are wrecking your relationship. You are making your marriage a torture. I'm getting a lot of flashy love. I want to tell you that this is affecting marriages and relationships a great deal. A lot of people don't know, and something that we need to talk about. Why? All because he or she does not have good personal hygiene. Your wife feels you are not clean enough. He does not change his socks. Some people's socks, if they come from outside and they pull their stockings, in fact, if there are mosquitoes in the house, some of them will drop dead. And the stench emanating from him is unbelievable. He smells of cigarette. You smoke cigarettes and you mix it with suya, eat onion. In the morning, you want to have an intimate affair with your wife. He does not brush his teeth. A lot of people don't brush their tongue. They don't brush. Some people brush so violently, but nothing is being brushed. Your husband has a list of complaints too. She smells like a live chicken. Like a live, you know. In fact, when I heard a friend of mine, I think we are on an adult platform. A friend of mine many years ago, he said, when we were young, he said the lady asked for a, I'm going to be very, very, very graphic, asked for a blow job. He said when he got down there, he was like facing Shalanga toilet, pit latrine. He said he ran away. These are matters serious. I'm not joking. He said that's active. When he got near, oh, it's like, so I'm talking very graphically this morning because I want us to wake our friends, our spouse, tell them that personal hygiene is wrecking marriages. It's making husbands to stay away. It's making wives to stay away. A wife should tell her husband quickly, I have a problem. You can investigate it. It might just be a medical condition. The reason you have bad breath can also be a medical condition that can be solved. Your armpit oozes. You can find all solutions. Don't take it for granted. These little things, you will miss a very important person in your life. Sometimes you miss an important opportunity. You go into a meeting with a man in his office. You change the atmospheric, odor, and you leave the place with a stench. He will tell his secretary when that man comes, let him stay outside. In fact, he should not even come into our offices. How do you feel when people run away from you? These are not spiritual. Is that we should solve it. Okay. Some women will carry a certain hairstyle for, we have another guy. Okay, that's Raphael. Some women will carry a hairstyle for long. They don't care. The hair oozes. Network is poor. Her hair smells of decayed oil. She has sweaty and foul smelling underarm. And then she has hairy legs and hands. She has hairy legs. A woman's hair is hairy. Her hands are hairy. Please take care of these things. They put off a lot of men. They put off. Can you see how personal hygiene in marriage has a definite impact in your relationship? I've just listed a few. You can add your own to the list. You know what you are experiencing. You know what you have experienced. Some women do not clean themselves back and front very well. When you know that your husband wants to have what you call an exploration around you, and you leave yourself unkempt, you use the toilet, you don't clean properly. I'm going to be very deep with my friends. I'm talking to my community because I want my community to resolve this matter and cure this so that our marriages will have very good edge of beautiful foundation around them. I want you to succeed. These are matters that are hardly discussed. Some husbands cannot tell their wives that she smells. Wife will not tell husbands that I don't like the way your mouth smells. All they do is to avoid kissing them. And the man will begin to wonder, you don't love me anymore. We have sex, but we don't kiss. I wonder why kissing is the first thing to disappear in relationship. They have sex, but they make love, but they don't kiss. They don't go near each other's mouth. Because the mouth has become a harbinger of viruses. The mouth of husband and wife is now a warehouse of uncleanliness. Let us stop that. Do you maintain good hygiene? Now that we have been talking, ask yourself, am I doing well enough? Ask your spouse. Ask your fiance, who are you in a relationship with, am I doing? Don't take it for granted. Ask, do I smell? Ask. Don't be pretentious. If you know you smell, resolve it. Don't take it for granted at all. Do you keep your body smelling good by having your bath twice a day? I know that in cold regions they do clean themselves with a towel, and they don't actually have a shower. Let us stop doing that. Let's clean. Let's wash ourselves very well. In this our temperate region, if possible, make it 3 times. But in cold climes, in this our humid region, sorry, not temperate. Temperate is the one you have there. Excellent. Your spouse like you for that. If you do that, I want to clap for you. So I want you to know that you should do a lot more of that from time to time. You know, most of you do not understand the importance of smelling good. You know, when you are intimate with your spouse, you don't know the importance. A lot of young people today, do you know, I went for eye check in an eye clinic. The lady, a young optometrist, yeah, not an optician, she was the one that was attending to me. As she was taking care of me, the kind of odor that was coming from her armpit was disturbing to me. I took occasion to be a friend because I knew this is a graduate and she's an optometrist. She's well from a good home, but something is missing. And I told her that I noticed that you have some odor. Oh, I have Sister Vanessa Scott. I think the sensitivity of the matter also makes it difficult for a man or woman to tell the spouse that they smell. I think we must find a way to discuss it. Your spouse is the nearest and dearest person. That's true. Dearest person to you. And so I think that, let me see. Yeah, she's written so well. Yeah. Your spouse is the nearest and dearest, and if you do not say it, you make your spouse a laughing stock to others. Finding the right time, place, and atmosphere and words to use, the Bible says, Proverbs 15:4, gentle words bring life and health. A deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. I love that. I love that. You see, what can I add? It's difficult to discuss, but we must use sweet, nice words. Sometimes, if it's a mouth odor, you can present the matter by giving out something. You know, we can share ideas. How will you want to tell somebody? I will give you a toothpaste or toothbrush. I'll give you a roll-on if I want to tell you that, look, your armpit oozes. I'll just do something and I will explain myself. Because let us not leave our friends, spouses, and friends and brothers in this difficulty. And so let us do something to help one another. You know, very important. You know, very important. So let us know, how do you do this? You know, the clean smell you emanate make your spouse feel more attracted towards you. When you smell well, when you go out and you leave a place, you smell well, the women will do something. Look, Bamilele has written, a lot of marriages would have escaped divorce if this kind of issue was taken as a serious cause in churches and counseling centers. Nice program, Idowu Bamilele Raphael says. Very good, very good. You see, we leave these issues and begin to deal with the surface. And man will not reveal to you that the wife is sleeping with oozes. You know, and Nnamdi Ihejerika say, many do not even know the smell. That is the matter. Many don't know. That's why you have to tell. You have to find a way. Gentle words. Vanessa advised that we should use gentle words, good words. He says soft words. Brings health. Don't be harsh. Don't be disgusted. Because you will help the person, if not for now, for the future. So that the person will not be embarrassed. I tell you, there's a lot we can do to help one another on this matter. Let us suppose you smell of sweat and grime when you are intimate, or sweat. Let us suppose that you smell of sweat and grime when you are intimate with your spouse. He or she might not say how much they dislike it in words, but inwardly they will grimace in revulsion. They will grimace or grimace in revulsion. Oh, Vanessa is saying 99% of people who smell don't know in my experience. You see? You see? So if the person doesn't know and you are saying that you love the person, what do? You tell the person that, look, my love, I love you. I think you smell. I think this odor comes out from here. You discuss it. If you do so, you'll be saving a life. You'll be saving great embarrassment. Because if your wife visits you with a friend and they all go back that woman has a body odor, or they tell the women there discuss that man, he came around to say hello to us, he oozes. Let's pay attention. Let's pay attention because it's affecting a lot of people. So the person will be, the woman that you are with, the man that we are with, might not tell you, but there's a way they will cringe and pull out from you. If you notice that you are talking to somebody and they are wibbling around their nose or trying to look away, it means that something is oozing. some fuse is coming from you. Let's be attentive to these issues. You know, the person gradually loses sexual attraction towards you. Your wife will not be, anytime you tell her, let's be intimate, let's have intimate moment, you see excuses. The woman will say, I'm not in the mood. The man will also, you know, see it as a torture, a difficult task. So let us stay away. Most of you have habits which revolts your spouse inwardly. A lot of us. Check on whether you have these habits in your day-to-day life. You scratch yourself vigorously before your spouse. You scratch. Some people scratch the genitals so vigorously. You scratch. Oh, it's not good. If anything is causing you so much scratch, can you find a solution to this? You scratch yourself so vigorously before your spouse. Then you scratch yourself vigorously before others too. You pick your nose. You pick your nose before your spouse. You pick your nose before friends. People, you pick nose randomly. Sometimes the person may feel embarrassed and have a lower self-esteem after being told, no matter how nicely you say it. Yes, Nnamdi, that's true, but we must say it. Because it is better to take a bitter medicine to cure an ailment than to pet the subject matter for the person to die. So you have to say it. Don't bother how. Just a minute, a little minute. Thank you. I just wanted to put on, the weather is a bit temperate around here, so I need to put on the air conditioner. Because the matter is a very serious one, don't you agree? You know, your hair is unkempt and grimy. Women a lot. You have this hair you have just put up and you keep it for 4 months, 3 months, and you think that it's not irritating to your spouse. It's not fair. So you have to do something about that. You know, you are unshaven, all part, anywhere you have hair, unshaven, bushy, crowded. You know, that's not good. You smell of filth and grime. It's not good. You are sweaty. You're sweaty all the time. It's not good. You wear dirty and shrunken clothes. Dirty and shrunken clothes. Most of you are guilty of these not so appealing habits. I know a lot of Western women don't care about their husbands. Whatever they like, they wear. I want to give credit to a lot of African women who take time out to groom themselves properly. In the days of old, our forefathers recounted they had many wives, and the women take turn to be with them. And on the time the woman wants to see her husband, she goes through a ritual of bathing, a ritual of powdering herself, a ritual of smelling good. But today, what do we have? We have people who jump on each other randomly without thinking of that. Personal hygiene is more important than anything else in building, in taking care of the foundation of your marriage. Most of you are guilty of this not so appalling habit. You feel there's nothing wrong in it, don't you? You know, you are after all family. You think you are family, aren't you? You are after all family. That's what you think. You are family, but no one will want to stay in the same room with a brother that oozes badly. So, but strangely, relationship does not work like that. Of course, lack of personal hygiene in marriage may not lead to divorce. It can lead to divorce, it may not lead to divorce, but it can lead to divorce. But it does lead to contempt and revulsion in the mind of your spouse. You wouldn't want that to happen, would you? So next week, I will continue on the topic, how to maintain good personal hygiene in marriage. So as I close, let me advise and admonish that on today's episode, I have started on how personal hygiene affects your marriage and relationship. I have opened your eyes to it. Let's share this video to as many people as possible. Let's share it to our friends so that at the end of the day, we would have saved a lot of wahala, a lot of problem. There is no one, whether you are a young person or an old person, we are all guilty of this. You know, mouth odor is the beginning of all things. If your mouth does not, smell fresh, be mindful of it. Ask your best friend, how does my mouth smell? Do I have an odor coming out of it? So on that note, I believe Your relationship will blossom. You will no longer be losing friends who come close to you. You will no longer see people who reject food from your kitchen. You will no longer have friends who want to give you a message at the door. You will have friends who want to come into your home, feel comfortable. You will now because to watch a movie in a dirty theater is not good. Even though the movie is interesting, it's a dirty theater you will remember. So all of this add up to make your life richer. It makes the life of your spouse richer. Some people have lost the man they would have married because of the dirty house they kept. I won't tell you this. Many years ago, I believe I could have ended up marrying that lady. She was somewhere in Ajegule when I went to visit her. And I saw the compound and I thought, okay, I can forgive the compound. But I entered her apartment. In fact, I cannot tell you what I saw. I saw dirt. I saw filth in her apartment. That moment, I changed my mind. I said, not again. Some women are in the habit of giving excuses. I'm so busy. So clothes are strewn all over their houses. You enter their sitting room, it's upside down. You think that a man will step into dustbin? He will visit your house and make up his mind and say, this woman, she's not clean. She's always, I move into her house and I always meet something that is not together. And she will give excuse and say, this is it, I'm busy. You know, I leave the home very early and come back late. There is no excuse. Personal hygiene is very important. If you show sign that you are not hygienic, a woman will leave you. A woman want to do something for you nicely. They call it a blow job. It gets there. It's like she's actually battling with toilet. Come on. Men, those boxers are not to be worn for too long. At least a day is enough. Don't even wear boxer 2 days. Especially those who have foul body odor. Stop scratching yourself. Brush your mouth and your tongue quite neatly. And brush once, make minimum of 2 times a day. I will give you more tips next week on another edition of Marriage Melodies. I hope this time we have spent together today have been very rewarding, and that you will help me to tell those friends of ours, those brothers of ours, that this message is important, because marriages are suffering under its weight. Some women have been abandoned in the bedroom. They didn't know the reason, and when they got to know, they cried, they were broken. Some men have decided that their wives don't feel good kissing them. They didn't know that those cigarette smell, those onion, those unkept mouth is leading to all of this. On that note, my brothers, my sisters, my friends who are there, I thank you for joining me. It's been Marriage Melodies, and I have been your friend Theo Akatuba. You know what you're going to do. Go to my YouTube page. There's a lot of videos there. You subscribe. That page is going to be active very soon. It's called Life Melodies. The YouTube page is called Life Melodies because there's much more than marriage talk. There's a lot of things out there. And then go to my Instagram page, Theo Akatuba, and follow me there. And also on the Facebook page, always be there and activate all the notification buttons so that we can always share with one another. On marriage, I'm very passionate about it because I believe marriage is the thing that makes a society better. Any society where marriages are in shambles has a great danger of extinction, has a great danger of misery among its people. The more you have broken marriages, you have a broken society. Make no mistake about that. Till next week, when I come your way again on Marriage Melodies, enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your marriage, make your marriage a hygienic palace, a palace of cleanliness. Make your relationship beautiful. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's a short time in this world. We don't have time to bicker with our loved ones. Bye for now.